Hey everyone, welcome back. So in the last lecture, we talked about Ben Franklin and his many different contributions to the fields of science and just about his life and why he's recognized and is pretty famous. And in this video, we're going to be taking a more in-depth look at electricity and the science behind it during Ben Franklin's time. Okay. All right, there we go. So yeah, in the days before Ben Franklin started working on experiments with electricity, people knew what electricity was. He didn't discover that it was a thing. However, people before him only knew that electricity did exist, but they didn't really know exactly why or how it worked, and it was mostly just used for like parlor tricks and like magic shows and not and wasn't very like scientifically like studied. But after Ben Franklin came around, he actually delved a lot more into like experimenting with electricity, and he actually came up with a few really interesting results. So one of the things that Ben Franklin discovered about electricity was that um, objects have sometimes have a positive charge, a negative charge, or a neutral charge, and that objects with positive and negative charges attract, while two objects with positive charges or two objects with negative charges will repel each other. And that theory is basically how I don't know if you can see this. I can maybe move this camera, but this is the theory of why like rubbing a balloon to your hair will make your hair stand up and like drift toward the balloon, because when you're rubbing the balloon against your head, you are transferring negative electrons from your hair to the balloon, which makes the balloon more positively charged, or which makes the balloon more negatively charged and your hair more positively charged. And those two forces will attract to each other. And that's also kind of why batteries have a positive and negative symbols on each end, because that is to show that like one side is more positively charged and one side's more negatively charged. So he kind of came up with that basic idea. The other big thing that Ben Franklin discovered was that lightning was electricity. So in his time, people knew that or people did not know, sorry, that lightning was electricity. I'm sure people speculated and thought that it could be the case, but no one had ever scientifically proven it before. And so Ben Franklin, in his experiments, really wanted to see if he could prove that lightning was electricity. However, where he lived in Philadelphia, there weren't really any tall buildings, which was what he was waiting for to see if lightning would come down on a tall building and he could see if it would strike metal and conduct electricity. But since that wasn't the case, one day he just got really impatient and decided to attach a key, a metal key, to a kite and fly it up into some thunderclouds to see if he could um like if the key would conduct the electricity. And a lot of people think that like his kite was electrocuted or he got electrocuted by the lightning, but that isn't really the case, at least what was reported. Um, what actually happened was that when he flew it up into the clouds, um, the key received a charge from the the thunderclouds, and when he brought it back down and touched the key, it shocked him, which proved that lightning was electricity because it could conduct metal. And so after discovering this, Ben Franklin was actually able to make a huge contribution to society, because in those days, lightning striking houses and starting fires was a really big issue and would affect a lot of people. And Ben Franklin was able to invent the lightning rod, which is this metal thingy over here. And basically, what the lightning rod did was that it was attached to the top of a house, and when lightning storms came, they would strike the lightning rod instead of the house, because metal is a better conductor of electricity and would keep houses from catching on fire. So in the end, Ben Franklin was able to learn and discover a lot of different things about electricity and actually apply them as well to inventions that would help out the people.